This game pretty much takes Pac-Man and turns it into a completely different type of game. A sci-fi action platformer where you explore big connected areas and unlock new abilities. You play as a character called Swordsman number 8 who wakes up on an alien planet. A yellow ball creature named Puck becomes your partner and he looks like Pac-Man. The interesting thing is that this game connects many old Bandai Namco arcade games into one big story. They all exist in the same universe called the United Galaxy Space Force. The basic gameplay has you running around with a sword fighting different types of aliens and monsters. But your companion Puck gives you special movement abilities that make the game unique. You can use a grappling hook to swing around and reach higher areas. And sometimes you actually control Puck directly. He moves along these blue electricity lines that work like the paths in the original Pac-Man game. Except now you can jump off them and go in any direction you want. This feels familiar if you know Pac-Man, but it works in a completely new way. You can transform into a giant robot that shoots laser beams from its mouth. Yes, Pac-Man basically becomes a mech and fights huge monsters. Of course, the world has different types of areas with their own enemies and challenges. For example, the underground tech areas have flying enemies, melee fighters and creatures, like bats and mole-like monsters, that you would expect to find underground. The game furthermore has these challenge rooms that lock you inside once you enter. You have to defeat every enemy in the room before you can leave. These rooms throw lots of different enemy types at you at the same time. The boss battles are where the game gets really creative with its arcade game references. For example, one boss is based on Pinky, the pink ghost from Pac-Man, but it looks like a big robotic machine with a pink slime core on top. The game also includes enemies from other classic arcade games. There are creatures from Dig Dug called Puka that float around the level until they touch the ground. You cannot hurt them with regular sword attacks. Instead, you have to use Puck's grappling ability to stun them first, then use it again to inflate them until they pop, just like it was in the game from 1982. The game's progression system uses equipment slots that look like Pac-Man icons. You find items that you can equip in these slots to get different bonuses and abilities. There are towns in the game where you can talk to people and buy things. The story seems to involve figuring out what happened in this ancient galactic war and why Puck chose you specifically. So what makes this game interesting is how it takes something as simple as Pac-Man and builds a serious action game around it, while also keeping all the recognizable stuff. And that sentence concludes today's video. If your time was respected, a like or comment is very much appreciated.